All right, welcome back. Now, the Breakfast Daily hashtag is Breakfast Daily. WhatsApp line is 05505885832. We like to stay interactive with you wherever you may find yourself. Even if you're watching us online on DSTV channel 363, wherever it is you're watching us from, just comment on the conversations that we're having here. Share your experiences per the topics that we're discussing, so we can also hear from you. But I want to begin with something that's very important. Landguard menace. Right, it's one of the things that has bedeviled our society for years, where people who ascribe to themselves power and authority to disenfranchise people of their own properties, claiming that they have other, documents and other authorities behind them that says that, they can impose their will on you, and brutalizing people, sometimes killing people, and all of that. We have a report by our colleague Calvis Tete. Let's take a look at this report. We'll come back and we'll delve further into the conversation.
For the Central East Police Command, headquartered in Millennium City, one of their main focus as a command is to totally eradicate Landguard activities and issues of crime, particularly in Kaswa and surrounding communities. Since its creation in the last quarter of 2021, its Special Anti-Landguard Task Force has been waging war against notorious Landguards and other criminals. The police have closed in on many of these dangerous persons and have subsequently pushed for the prosecution of some of them. Some of the areas that gained notoriety in Landguard activities over the years are now safe for inhabitants and developers. The police has cited multiple sale of lands by the chiefs as the main cause of Landguard activities and violent clashes. According to the Director of Operations at the command, TK Hlomenu, some chiefs and family heads, in their quest to wield power, employ the services of Landguards to terrorize landowners and developers, and in return sell the land multiple times. According to him, a joint operations between the property fraud unit of the Ghana Police Service has resulted in the retrieval of several parcels of land which have been handed over to their allodial owners. The Director of Operations at the command was speaking to City News at the back of a special operations at J River and Kwabonzi, where about 5 persons were brought to the station for questioning on why they had built on a land that belongs to another developer.
Land dispute in the Kaswa and its environs, or Central East region, precisely being the police region, I have seen that there have been a multiple sales, which probably is coming from either the families or the stools that owns these lands. Because looking at the area, most of the lands here are either family lands or they are stool lands. So they are the same people that are creating such conflict. And some of them want to wield power over the others. They bring in Landguards, and those people that are also caretakers, that we may even say the Landguards, they also, one way or the other, sells lands that have also been sold to people already, and forcibly they find a means of protecting it so that those they have given it out will have a possession. That is what is creating a lot of inconvenience. And I believe that with this, is deterring these investors and also individuals who probably want to have a piece of land so that they can put up a building for shelter. Is also scaring them. But with the police, since the region has established, we are doing our best. We have spoken to most of the chiefs to at least advise themselves, because the outstanding issue is that when we are able to get you as a defaulter, we put you before the law court.
Nicholas Otabel, a private developer, recounts how Landguards terrorized him and inflicted machete wounds on his brother some time ago in an attempt to protect parcels of land they had legally acquired.
He was badly hurt. And I remember once we went there with the police to stop them working. And trust me, they nearly snatched the AK-47 from the police. That's the Landguards. They overwhelmed us. I say, so with this, it's actually scare we, even the owners, from approaching the land. They're still developing.
Right, so this is what is happening in some parts of the country. That's Central East well, so you heard the police there speaking about it, you know, and in the report you also heard Calvis, you know, talking about some of these Landguard issues in and around Kaswa. Now, Nicholas Otabel, who also just spoke, is a private developer, and he joins us on phone. Thank you very much, Nicholas. Welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Right, so share your experience with us. If you say you've been a victim to Landguard menace, what exactly happened to you?
Thank you for your cherished listeners once again. And I think this is to those who have gone through similar problem of mine and have lost their land. Let's dedicate this to them. We have a land situated in Ogupo Parko, which is a registered land. And out of nowhere, parties of the area, Kwaboni, just took over the land and employed Landguards to take over the land. To our surprise, they don't have documents, but they are selling the land and actually protecting those who they sold the land to develop. And their motive is, we develop the land, you go to court, by the time you come back, we have developed the land. So we took up the trouble. Since we don't also want to take arms, we took up the trouble, reported the issue to the police of Opako, and then a police commander by the name Dake. So there was once they were winning sand on the land. So we reported again, and they gave us men to go and stop them. It was one policeman and two police officers, I can say. One was armed. And when we got to the site, we went there because we thought the police was going to protect us, or were going in the name of the police, so we were safe. Madam, trust me, I wish one of you would have witnessed what went on. They had mounted guys all around. So we got there in less than 2 minutes. They came on motorbikes. When they came on motorbikes, they had numbers, and so they were just rushing to take the AK-47 from the police and probably do whatever they want to us. It was a scary moment. It was a day I thought I would never come back to see my family again at home. And so what happened was, it was a struggle. So by God's intervention, out of nowhere, they decided to leave us and go. But me in particular, they warned me and threatened me that anytime they see me around the land, they will kill me. And so that had been something that had been on my heart and my mind. It gave me a scary moment. I'm scared of my life. So even it's my own land that I've registered and we possess it. Anytime I go close, I'm even afraid. I can't go there alone.
So, Nicholas, what were you going there with the police for? Were they going to also be stationed there for quite some days, or they were just taking you to the land and then they return?
They were just going to stop them from winning sand.
Okay.
It's all land they sell and they win sand. And with this, trust me, they win sand for 3 days. And the police commander then, stationed in Fakor police, couldn't stop them. And when we brought in the EPA, by the 3rd day, it had vanished. But now what they are doing is they are reselling the land and producing fake documents.
That is the chief.
Yes. Kwaboni. And just even yesterday, we have people calling us, telling us they bought the land, and they were arguing with us.
Did you acquire land from this same chief or from another chief?
No. Nani Awushitete, even it's my uncle, my direct uncle, but we bought the land from Nani Awushitete. Got it registered. We signed and got it registered. So our line is registered. And as I speak with you, we even have this case in court. The criminal case is with Court 9 in Accra. But I'll use this opportunity to also beg and play with Attorney General to go and respond for our case to continue in Court 9. So that's it.
Right, yeah. So you have gone there with the police, but nothing really happened. In your estimation, how do you think we can have a way around this issue? Because you are a developer, you are an estate developer. This is business for you. It's not just a plot of land that you are just going to build your own house. I mean, that even said, it's a big issue. But for a businessman, you know, having to go through all these and to, if for want of a better word, lose your investment, how do you think we can go around this? Because it looks like it's above the police now.
I think I'm happy the media have come in now. I wish the media will also do a follow-up whenever we report some of these cases, or how we can even get to the media to do a follow-up, because these are people who are highly connected. And the Landguard has become a very lucrative job for them, because they seize your plot of land. These are about 60 acres I'm talking about. They seize, they sell it very cheap, they bribe those who are in authority to actually protect us, because I know man-made law to protect and guide, right? But because there are loopholes in the law, they bribe and they drag your case, and probably maybe you go there and they are even responding the way they attend to you will discourage you from even going back to the land. That's it. So I would wish once there is an LI that is in existing now, I would wish it to be applied, especially we are ready to give you every information for our case to be used as a test case, to deter chiefs from practicing that. And I think a human right also has also make it that when a Landguard is arrested, they send to the counterback, and I tell you, they are even bailed faster. In 2 minutes, they are bailed and they are back, and they are on you. This is it. I know a guy who has got severally. He'll be arrested. In 2-3 minutes, he's back, and he will come directly to you. Some of them have hurt people who even reported this. So I think we should all come together, investigate, and find out who are the superior, who do the order from above, release you and do this. Because even the security agencies, some of them, bad not, are beneficiaries. We have evidence. They are beneficiaries.
Well, I'm sure that we'll have to prove that beyond every reasonable doubt. Nicholas, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you for having me. And
right.
Thanks.
Right. So we are looking at Landguard issues. I'm sure if you develop a property in Ghana, you are no stranger to some of these occurrences. But how do we deal with the issue? Because sometimes it could be very nasty. It could get bloody and all. Now, the issue that a victim, Nicholas Otabel, is raising is sometimes you make complaints to the police, and it looks like the police themselves are unable to, take full control of the situation. And so sometimes people go and then they come back and the situation continues. So these are some of the issues that we need to be looking at as long as Landguard issues are concerned. This is Breakfast Daily. Now I've been joined by co-host of City Breakfast Show, Kojo Akoto Boate. Kojo, good morning. Welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Good morning, Frema. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. You're really set for the month of love, huh?
I've been set since last year, February. How is your wife and how's your son?
Everything is going well. They're fine.
Awesome. But the fortunate news, coming in, I don't know if this is even news again, Landguard issues. Could it be, that sometimes even getting your land registered to, if you say you're going to the police station, if you say you're going to court, what really shows that this is my land? So you have bought your land in course legitimately, it's been sold to someone else. Both of you don't really have proper documentation. So it looks like who can fight, who has the strength to get Landguards in there to protect. Sometimes people build and then you go back and you find out that Landguard have actually demolished your property. How do we go about this issue?
It's a big problem. And there are different levels of Landguardism. There are those protecting people's properties. There are those in enclaves who are not protecting anybody's properties, but when you begin construction, they'll come to you and harass you at every stage of your project for money.
Yeah.
And so it's a big problem. I faced the same issues when I was constructing my house. I remember when we started, there's a guy called Fuse and his gang. They came holding weapons that we should give them some money because they are not sure we are the owners of the land, so we should give them money to protect us.
But will the money turn you to the rightful owners of the land?
Then you show your proof that you are owner, and they'll still harass you for money. In our area, what happened was that the chiefs, the families, the MC and the MP and the police got together and they declared Landguard activities illegal. And they practically empowered developers that if you see Landguards, deal with them. Just report to the police for the police to deal with them. So it brought those activities down in the area. But where Mr. Otabel's issue is coming from is the Central East, which is more like the Kaswa area.
Yes.
The Landguard activity is still ongoing. It's also because of our land administration related matters.
So you know, a friend of mine over the weekend has bought a house from one of these estate developers. You know, so the house has been paid for. Every work on it has been done. Now he has to get, I think, a chief from the central region to sign the documents. Now that chief is demanding 5,000 cedis.
Yes, those things also happen. So this is what happens if you're acquiring a land. The land is being sold to you by a landowner, usually a chief or an institution. It could also be a state institution in instances where they're allowed to give out land. And they are actually leasing the land to you.
Yeah.
There was the leasehold and the freehold. These days, there's nothing like freehold. So they lease the land to you over a certain period. Once you pay whatever fees you must pay to the landowner, they give you an indenture, which shows that they've given you permission to have rights to the land over a certain period. And then you take this indenture and your site plan and everything to go to the Lands Commission to begin your processes. But what most people fail to do is that they don't do their search before they do the payment. So once you get your site plan, initial site plan, you have to go to the Lands Commission to do a search to ascertain whether whoever is selling the land to you is the actual title holder of the land. Once you ascertain that, you pay. Unfortunately, there are lots of lands with legal issues over them. If you go to the court at the moment, I'm not a lawyer and I've not studied our judicial system very well, but I can tell you off the top of my head, based on reports we hear, that at least 50% of cases in our judicial system is got to do with lands.
Pretty much.
You understand? So if you're unable to do the search to ascertain who the owner is, and you go ahead, that's when this person comes, that person comes, and sometimes you cannot fight them. Sometimes you ascertain who the owner is, but there would be an impending issue in courts, right? So as you build, this person is fighting this, challenging the ownership of this person. So they also bring their people to demolish, and it goes back and forth. People who have a lot of money then decide that I'll pay this party and pay this party and continue to build. But the average person doesn't have that, so it leaves you in limbo. So I think that it's very important we pay attention to this. Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, the Lands Administration Project, we did Lab 1, we did Lab 2. It's supposed to fast track a lot of the processes such that you don't even have to go to the Lands Commission to do your search.
That is the issue.
There should be a portal.
Yes.
You put your site plan in. Within a day or two, they email you that indeed the site for which you are making the inquiry belongs to so and so and so and so and so and so with the details. Based on that, you can proceed to do the business of paying for the final amount and going forward to do your work. So that's very important. I have seen how it works in Kigali. And sometimes when we talk about Kigali, people think that we are overpraising Rwanda. But I saw how people would make inquiries at the lands department. They will not move an inch, but they'll get a response that so and so and so and so is this. It helps to remove a lot of the litigation. So at the Lands Commission, they need really to look at their systems, digitizing the system. They did some digitization, had a lot of bottlenecks and a lot of issues. They need to improve that system such that people who want to, prospective landowners, will get the best services to enable them not to waste their money. A lot of people have wasted their investment because of these issues. You would build and build and build and build, and then by the time you are done, somebody has gone to court and won the case, or somebody else shows up, especially in Greater Accra. One land belongs to a family, but maybe the family had not agreed to sell. So this person comes, will not allow you, then the other person comes, then the other person comes. In certain instances too, different factions within the family decide that let's con these people, let's con these people. You go and sell the land to them, but we will go and protest. Then it goes back and forth so that they get to earn a lot more. So we need to use national intelligence to deal with the land issues, because this is it. Without land, there is no business.
Yeah.
You need land for residential, you need land for commercial, you need land for agric industrial development. And there are a lot of investments that have been blocked or are facing challenges because of these land issues. And there are lots of people who have died and been injured because of Landguard issues.
But Kojo, you see, so the issue is, yes, no doubt we have all these challenges, you know, in our land administration. I mean, trying to register lands, it comes with its own issues. But why must land guards even be an option? So there are a lot of challenges, you know, people are hungry on the street, genuinely. People can't afford certain things. We are all crying, people are protesting, people are doing this. But you cannot, say because of that, if they go to steal, we have to understand, because these are the problems. They must eat, their families must eat. That is a no-no. So how do we deal with, because fine, so if we are going to go to court to fight for the rightful owner of the land, where does land guards come in?
It's sad that land guards have a place in our society, but there's an explanation for that. Because of what in Twi we say abroni beye. That's why some people also resort to having land guards. This is it. Over the years, we say that when you get the land and you begin building to lintel level, then the owner of the land doesn't have anything to do but to negotiate with you and come to an agreement. And because of this practice, there are people, especially very rich people, who see some land, they want the land, they'll mobilize all the resources, building materials, everything. Within 2 weeks to a month, you see that the building has come up to a lintel level. And if you are the owner and you have not reacted or prevented them from doing that, then that's practice of, then you have to negotiate and so the issue comes in. And then people end up losing their lands. So it had been happening. So to prevent people from building to that level, to be able to lay legitimate claim to the land and the fact that they've invested on the property, then don't let people build at all.
Kojo,
so they bring in land guards.
We will come to that, but we have ACP Odramani. He is the Deputy Central East Regional Police Commander on the line. Thank you very much for your time, Commander.
You're welcome, madam.
So just paint a picture of how serious the issue of land guards is in this area.
Yeah, good morning once again to you and your listeners, madam. And this issue that we're talking about, landguardism and other things, as at now that I'm talking to you, it has gone down. We made an announcement on both radio, TV, and then the print media that anybody who thinks he has bought a land genuinely at Kaswa, and somebody or a group of people are preventing him or her to develop the land, he should come. And there were a lot of them who came that now they are in the process of putting up their burden or their project. Those who haven't come are those that maybe there are some they will come. And when the land was sold to you, were you giving papers? You say no. Why? You say me say anka media on the or the Bemami. You see? So when it comes like that, it is very difficult for us to protect you, because we cannot condone and connive with wrongdoing. So if you have the genuine document, we help you, because we ask you go to your land, you go and start your work. If anybody comes with your document, you just call the police, and we've been doing that.
Okay.
But those people that you haven't come and they know or they think they have genuine documents and people are preventing them and they haven't reported it to the police, for that one, I can't speak for them. But as for now, we are on it, and we are seriously, because that thing is bringing insecurity to Kasua then, but now we've made it in such a way that now there is peace in Kasua.
Right, right. So I think it's some welcoming news, that the activities of Landguards in this area is, or the activities are actually going down. But is this something that you think can be eliminated entirely?
Yeah, we can, because this is like Edley has been saying, a tree which has taken years to bend. You can't take one day to straighten it. It will take time. So gradually, we will get there.
Right now, have you been able to arrest some people, and dealt with them in a way that was...
We have, and they've been sent to court. Some are on remand, some are on bail. You can check the records from the Ufanko court, and you will see it.
Right now, I'm sure when you ask people to come forward, and share their issues with you, those who are having problems with intimidation by Landguards and all, they gave reasons why they had to deal with some of these problems. Would you care to share some with us? Is it confusion coming from the police? Is it because of documentation of lands? What exactly is the problem?
Yeah, that is some, as I told you earlier on. There are some, they don't have documents. You see, and the family, maybe it is one family, but we have divisions in the family. And one will go and sell without being able to give you documents. And the other one who can give you documents will also go and sell to somebody and then give documents to the person. So these are some of the things that was happening. And then on the other hand also, sometimes also, some people will also buy the land that we are a company, and they acquire a big land. So within the family also, somebody will go and start in the middle or at the end, so that he also says, "Oh, you with your sheep, let me protect you," without giving you documents. You see, these are some of the things that were happening, but now we've seen it, and gradually we are bringing the situation to a halt.
Right. So would you also extend, when you get the Landguards, would you also extend it to who gave them the power, to go over to the land and to intimidate people, just so we deal with the roots of the matter and not just the Landguards, but track it to the big people behind them?
If there are big people behind them, we get them, we do arrest them. But it is when they come, you arrest them. You see, they are a group of people. So sometimes they've not been sent by anybody. They themselves have formed up a group that they want money. So sometimes they will come, and even not because of their land, they will ask you, bring this seed because you are developing the land. Bring this, bring that. So when we get them, we do arrest them. And sometimes you ask them, who sent you? And you will call the person. The person said, no. Even these guys are you talking of? I don't know them.
Right.
I've not sent them.
Right. Yeah. Right. Thank you very much, Commander. So we've been talking to ACP Odro Ameni, who is Deputy Central East Regional Police Commander. So you heard ACP on the phone. So sometimes people have taken the laws into their own hands. The issue of documentation, multiple factions, within a family trying to, like you were explaining earlier, it looks like, the issues are all over the place.
Yes,
how do we get our hands on this?
Well, I think that the Lands Commission, like I said, needs to better deliver services. And
but why are they not able to do so?
And do a lot of public education. I don't remember when the Lands Commission went out and out to do massive public education. At least over the past years, we've seen institutions like the GRA, NPA, FDA, even Standards Authority and a few other public institutions doing public education on their activities. Lands Commission should take it upon themselves to engage the public as to the processes in acquiring rights to land. Number two, when the police officer was speaking, forgive me, I've forgotten his name.
ACP Odramani.
ACP Odramani, and he said that people go, they pay for the land, and then they don't even get the documents, and they readily move on to get work done. The district assembly should also do a bit more work in ensuring that they fast track their building permitting processes. This is it. If you know that you apply for building permit and you can get it within a week or two, you would probably also work harder to get your documents and go for the permitting. And when you take that, the assembly looks at your site plan to see whether it fits into the development plan of the area and cross-checks a few things. So if you're all going through those processes as well, there'll be a bit more sanity within the system. But we don't. And because of that, every day you see unauthorized, demolish this, demolish, because people, one, don't have the documentation to go with the right drawings, to go for permitting. And it's like everybody is doing what they like. So Lands Commission, district assemblies, and then the families, they should know that, Charlie, getting money is good, but throwing people's earnings and people's investments down the drain because of your greed is bad. So families should also really try to do the right things. The landowners, the families, enough of the greed. They've been greedy for far too long. Enough of that.
Right. I'm sure for conversations surrounding land issue, we really need to dedicate some time, you know, and really hit hard, because we have to find a way around it. But having spoken about land, you know, we'll always go back to the streets as well. And now, so from potholes on the street to no street lights to traffic lights not working, I find it a bit unfortunate, you know, when you have traffic lights at major intersections, they are not working. There are no police people, you know. We live our lives in the hands of some citizens who opt to direct traffic. How sure are we of these people who step in, you know, in their minds, they are kind of providing a certain solution, but how sane are people like that? How confident are they, you know, when you, I mean, they are overwhelmed by issues. Sometimes drivers don't even pay attention to them because they feel, on what authority are you standing there telling us to stop, you know? But you see that police vehicles will also be passing by, but nothing is really happening. I don't know how difficult it is, you know, to install a traffic light that has gone bad, a faulty traffic light. So this morning, my co-host, David Kweku Sechi, is somewhere in the capital, and he's observing some of these issues, and he joins us on Breakfast Daily. Thank you very much, Kweku.
Yes, Frema. Yeah, so as you said, I mean, oftentimes there are civilians that will make an attempt to, you know, direct traffic whenever the situation is dire, the lights are off, the vehicles are moving across, you know, perpendicular to each other in the traffic, and to avoid accidents and all that happening. But this morning I'm here at the Asylum Down or Holy Spirit Cathedral traffic lights, and the entire 9 different positions of traffic lights here are off. All right, so it's a bad situation that we find ourselves here. This dawn, I actually drove through this very and we're off. Now at dawn, it was kind of scary, because what happens is that there's the lights, you know, in Accra, the lights are amber at a certain time of the morning, you know, and then they come back to regular red, you know, amber, green. But at that time of the morning, they are amber and flashing. Now, at this point, there's no lights, and the lights are still not on. Okay, I'm not sure who's in charge of these lights, but unfortunately, the lights are not on. Now, it's very easy to have an accident in this place here. Fortunately for us, we have a police lady who is directing. The question I have, you know, thinking about it is, how long will she be out here for? Because usually there's a limitation to the number of hours. At a certain point in time, you say, look, you've done 4 or 5 hours here. If the lights are still not on, will she still be here directing traffic? You know, and so whoever it is that's in charge of these lights needs to come and work on this thing as quickly as possible, because this one has many vehicles, you know, many different parts to the intersection. Okay, so as you can see, this is a side coming from the Accra, you know, University area, and then Accra Technical University area. There's this side that's going down towards the Asylum Down area. Over there, this side is going straight down towards Adabraka, you know, and you can see, and of course behind us coming towards me is coming from the Ridge Circle area. So we can see there's a police lady who has just stopped somebody right there. I'm not sure what the issue is, but that looks like a police vehicle or some sort of government vehicle. But she's talking to. Well, there's some kind of inscription on there with the
Okay.
police emblem at the back of the vehicle.
Okay.
You can see the police emblem at the back of the vehicle. So I presume it's a police vehicle without the police number plates. But she was talking to the person there.
Well,
Yeah,
have you been
she's
ab-
now
have you been
stopping the
able
traffic
to-
on that side.
Have you been able to establish for how long these lights have been off?
Well, I know I haven't, not exactly.
Okay.
But I noticed that this dawn they were off. Yesterday I passed through here, they were off as well. So I don't know if they were off earlier than that. But at least yesterday and today I've noticed that they've been off for this long. So at least 24 hours they've been off. Now I'm not sure who it is that is responsible and has not done their job, because this is definitely not gone unnoticed by authorities. So why it is that for this length of time it's still not been done, I don't know, because it is one of the biggest interchanges of traffic lights that we have in the capital. So it's rather unfortunate that this is what is happening
Right,
here
so-
right
so
now.
from
And
what
as
you
can
are-
see, the police.
Right, from what you are observing, how do you think the picture will
Yes.
look during rush hour if there's no police officer there?
Oh no, this will be chaos. It will be complete mayhem and chaos. If the lights don't come on, this place cannot be abandoned by the police. The police need to be here the entire time. There's no way, And as soon as the police leaves here, some individual, civilians will attempt to come and do the job of the police, and that usually will also result in some kind of chaos, because the drivers get impatient. They feel as though, who are you, why are you directing traffic, let me just go anyway because I've been waiting for too long. And that all of that will happen, and then before you realize, an accident is taking place, which is completely unacceptable. So I believe that it's important for us to quickly call on the authorities and have them come to the ground and make sure that whatever the issue is, whatever the challenge is, all 9 different points are off.
Quite
All 9
unfortunate.
different points are off.
Right. So
this
let
is
me
what
bring
we have
Kojo.
here
Let me
this
bring
morning.
Kojo into the conversation. So Kojo, this is the situation. Now, my concern is, what happens if we have, for instance, a mentally challenged person, step in there to decide to control traffic, so you don't know who the person is, because oftentimes when the traffic lights are not working, there's no policeman, and a normal citizen decides to help. You don't know who they are, but you also give them your trust. So when they ask you to come, you are moving. So I mean, this is what I am looking at.
This is crazy, and it's not just here. It's happening in other places. You see street lights knocked down and they'll be left there.
Like we can go now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so David, thank you very much for that update, and see you soon in the studio.
And then the scrap dealers will then pick.
All right, Frema, thank you very much. All right, thank you.
Right.
So you see street lights down, scrap dealers will just go and cut and go and sell them as scrap. You see metal railings going off. It just needs some bolts and nuts to be fixed. We don't do it, scrap dealers will go and take it. And you see traffic lights off for days. And I wonder what the Urban Roads Department does. This is why. We set up an Accra Intelligent Traffic Management System, which has a head office at the Urban Roads office, with all the fanfare, cutting of ribbons and everything. And so if it's as intelligent as we are told it is, if a traffic light goes off, Urban Roads must see that this particular traffic light is not working. If it's a cable cut, they get ECG to go fix the cable and traffic lights will work. Not so.
Yeah.
But traffic lights go off in this city for weeks, sometimes months, and you don't see any remedial actions by the Urban Roads Department. It's not just Accra, it happens in Kumasi. Let's just say Kumasi doesn't have an intelligent traffic system, but at least from the Achimota corridor all the way into Accra, we spent money into doing that. So why should Cathedral not have traffic lights working? Number 2, we've done all these smart security cameras across our city. We should be able to communicate to the people managing the city, in this case the police and the National Intelligence Bureau, for them to know what is happening within the city. So don't they see when there is chaos in some place to then prompt the right authority that must restore that service to us? So at the moment there's a police person there directing traffic. has the police communicated to urban roads that this your traffic light is not working to immediately come and fix it? What communication has happened? And as a people, these are things we should be pushing state institutions for. Because you know what? When you pay your electricity bill, you are paying street lighting levy. So these traffic lights and everything, you are paying for them.
Yeah.
Your taxes pay for us to run these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there are things that we should really move for and put pressure on the urban roads. They should submit annual reports on how they manage roads and traffic.
Well, I think we are not demanding enough as a people.
We
we don't hold our leaders
we are not.
accountability, and that is something that we also maybe need to up our game on, because we are paying the monies.
Yeah.
Why don't we have street lights?
Yeah.
Why do I have to go through the stress of not having a traffic light? Anyway, I'm sure we will come back again, to discuss other challenging issues in our societies. Could you thank you very much for your time this morning.